Why, hello, chat. Did you guys had a nice day? I hope you did, and if you didn't, I'll make it better because we got some interesting things to talk about. It came to my attention that Rocksteady went under. This is the year of video games that are so bad they actually do make studios going broke. The wokeness in Suicide Squad was too powerful for capitalism. It was so social justice like. It destroyed capitalism and it destroyed the corporation which made it. I want to take a little bit to analyze what Rocksteady was. What made Rocksteady an amazing company, and then what made Rocksteady into the worst company imaginable. Batman Arkham Asylum comes out in 2009. Like, that's a long time ago. Almost 20 years. And it was an amazing game. It was absolutely mind-blowing. Why was it mind-blowing? It's due to the fact that you actually felt like you're playing Batman. The people that made the game, they studied why Batman is popular, right? It's not just they took the IP. It's like, because they could have done that. There were many games like that in the past. You know, let's take Batman and you just have like a third-person video game where you're dressed as Batman, but it doesn't feel like you're actually Batman. But in Batman Arkham Asylum, it unironically feels as if you are in that universe, as if you are as if you're playing your favorite comic book character. And what made Batman special was that he wasn't good against people with guns, for instance, right? Like, if you had a single enemy with a rifle, he could kill you, which showed the fact that Batman is human. Like, he's not Superman, he's not Wolverine. Like, if there was a single guy in the arena that had one machine gun, and he fired a single shot into you, you are dead. So what you had to do was to actually act like Batman, like sneak around, go through the ceiling, and try to silently take down the enemy. And it showed that the enemy, they got frightened as if they didn't see what's happening, and they would find like their unconscious teammates. Was an amazing game, right? It had the detective aspect of the game where you would go around and try to investigate, put together what happened. Like, that was cool. And the villains, they actually felt as Batman characters. And one of the coolest villains was also Harley Quinn, which was incredibly sexualized, matched to the satisfaction of the customers that bought the game. Like, she was this goth lady with big tits, and it added to her personality because, you know, like, she's incredibly hot, but she's also incredibly evil. So a lot of the people who are playing it, the lizard male brain activates, and it's like, well, if evil, why does she look friend-shaped, you know? So this is like the first Batman Arkham Asylum. There's a lot of negative things to say about it. The gameplay loop was pretty boring after a while. Like, all you had to do was to learn the parry button, and you would parry, and you would win. So, you know, there's a lot of things to say. However, I would say that the next games in the installment weren't that great, in the sense that they were serviceable, they were good, but they didn't really innovate. They didn't really, like, you know, broke the ceiling, if you will. They were good games, but nothing over the top. They kind of just took the first formula and it was like, you know what, this works, so we're not going to change it. We're just going to make the game a little bigger. We're going to add more villains, add more characters. But all in all, like, the experience was kind of the same. Like, if you like Batman Arkham Asylum, you'd like the other two games. They didn't change much. They didn't tinker with it. Because they realized, hey, you know, if it works, why fix it? Now, Batman Arkham VR. Batman Arkham VR is one of the most amazing VR games that I have ever played in my life. In fact, I would say that if you guys never played a VR game, you should definitely pick up this one. By the way, is there anything wrong with my chat? Is it not updating? Because I see I get 108 viewers, right? Which is not that many, but definitely the chat should have updated a lot more than it already does. So, are you guys having issues with the chat, or am I not seeing it properly? I usually do not address this, but if there are people that want to be chatting and they can't. I want to see what's happening. Oh, chat is just low. That's fine. That's fine. I just wanted to know if there's an issue or not. Yeah. No, it's okay. Am I on live chat? No, I'll be on live chat. There we go. Yeah, it's okay. No, it's weird. Usually when you have like when you're streaming for a while, you kind of notice, oh, there's 100 people. This is how fast chat needs to go. This is 300 people. This is another speed that the chat needs to have. So when I see that I have 108 people and only 5 chat messages, it's like, well, what is going on? Anyway, right. Batman VR is one of the best VR games out there. Like, if you guys buy a new VR headset and you want to experience some of the best games ever made for VR, Batman Arkham VR, definitely one of the best. The only problem with it, too short. You end up finishing it in like 2 hours, but you unironically feel as if you're in Gotham. Like the graphics are mind-blowing, and the only thing better than the graphics is the story. I'm not going to spoil it for you, but like, if you get to the ending, like, it's one of those mind-blowing moments. It's one of those, Darth Vader, I'm your father moment. I am Revan from Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic. It's one of the best endings in gaming history. Unfortunately, many people don't know it because they haven't played Arkham VR, because they don't have VR or they never wanted to get into it. So, like, many people do not know just how amazing the story is. Do you guys want me to spoil it, by the way? I could spoil it. Like, I think I should spoil it, actually, because at this point in time, I don't think anyone is going to pick up this game. But yeah, the story is that you find out that Robin is in distress. Like, his bat signal turns out, right? And you try to find him, and when you find him, like, someone broke his spine. So, like, Nightwing, not Robin, sorry. Nightwing is dead. And you gotta investigate who killed Nightwing. So Batman uses his gadgets and detectives and finds out that, like, someone that knew hand-to-hand combat to a level that only Batman knew managed to take down Robin. So, like, he wasn't... It wasn't that someone snuck up on him. It wasn't that someone ambushed him. Nightwing just managed to get BTFO'd in hand-to-hand combat and killed. So you gotta find out, like, who did it. And you're going through Gotham City. You're talking with all of these criminals, trying to interrogate, trying to piece together what happened. And again, like, the details are stunning. Like, you're sitting atop of the highway, you're watching the cars go under you. It's really cool. And then you eventually end up in the asylum ward, and it turns out that it's the Joker toxin that you got infected with, which makes you transform into the Joker. Like, the Joker takes control during the night. And the Joker taking control of Batman's body actually killed Nightwing. And when you find out, it's really cool, because the game story is made in such a way that there's hints everywhere. Like there's small hints, and you kind of figure out what can happen if you pay attention. So yeah, it's really great. Anyway. Let's look at the catastrophe now. Let's look at what actually happened, the tragedy that killed the studio. So, Batman Arkham VR, amazing game. Like, I would think, okay, well, the studio can go only forward from now. Like, they obviously have great story writers. Even if they were to make a bad game that's having, like, bad graphics or anything like that, it doesn't matter, because the story will carry it. Suicide Squad kills the Justice League. Jesus fucking Christ. So you see the Suicide Squad trailer. It looks decent, but it's only decent because they don't show gameplay footage, right? And then when the gameplay footage kicks in, it's generic as fuck. Like, one of the most generic type of games that I could ever... Like, there's no hype for that. There's no reason to even get invested. The graphics, everything looks shit. Absolute shit. Harley Quinn looks like a 45-year-old 45-year-old crack addict. And not only that, like, people point out, you know, like, compared to the Harley Quinn that you get in 2009 Batman Arkham Asylum, the new one, no sex appeal whatsoever. And there's even a scene where she mocks the fans. Like, if you're one of the people that go like, why do these leftist developers absolutely hate and despise femininity? Like, why do they go out of their way to cast their 45-year-old mother that's surrounded by cats into the game? And they expect me to pay $70 for it. Like, why do they keep doing this? Well, they mock you. They basically have Harley Quinn going to her locker room and finding this old costume of hers, and she's like, oh, that was like a bad time in my life. You know, like basically saying that the first game made by competent people were made by misogynistic pigs. So a direct insult to the fans, a direct insult to the first creators of the game, and that's just one of things. Another character that's supposed to be sexy and feminine, Poison Ivy. They made her look like Greta Thunberg. Like, she's a child now. I even felt uncomfortable, and I watch anime, and I felt uncomfortable when Harley Quinn, which apparently is scissoring Poison Ivy in the lore, she's like, oh, like, starting to flirt with the child, and it's like, what the fuck? Like, make an anime if you're into that. What? This is DC Comics. We don't swing that way here. It's not okay. It's bizarre. And the cope coming from all the smug, arrogant twats on Twitter, which didn't buy the game either. And it's like, oh, you don't understand is the story. No, I do understand that is the story, but hire some better writers. How about that? And it's like, oh, well, she's dead, so now she respawns into, like, a little... Like, shut the fuck up, dude. Just every single time there's a plot reason, isn't there? Every single fucking time. By the way, like, that's literally my problem with this. It's not that a lot of people don't understand me. They think that, oh, V, you must be obsessed with porn. Like, you want porn in every game. It's like, first of all, seeing a female character, just like 2009 Batman Arkham had, it's not pornographic, alright? Like, I know where to find porn. I don't go out of my way in video games. What I do have a problem is that these leftists are fucking ugly. Okay? Like, I look at them, I look at the developers, they put pictures of themselves. They are absolutely ugly. Okay? Now, in their mind, they want to gaslight me that they are beautiful. So they create art, and they represent their ugliness in order to try and suggest, see, we're not ugly, everything else is ugly. No, fuck you. That's literally my argument. Fuck you, I'm not going to give you my money. Like, this is what it's about. It's about principles. It's not about necessarily the fact that, oh, well, V wants to be a Khmer. Like, I can Khmer just fine, okay? There are places where I can go and satisfy my Khmeristic needs. It's not about Khmerism. It's about the audacity. The audacity of these ugly developers that are pumped up on estrogen, and they have the thing, like, putting their ugliness into my game, thinking that it's like putting the carrot inside the broccoli, trying to force feed it to me. No, fuck off. I'm not going to buy it. That's what it's about. I don't care, you know, like, oh, because at the end of the day, people are like, you can mod it. And yeah, you can mod it. You can have Poison Ivy with big fat tits. But that's not the thing. The thing is, like, they want me to feed those people. To take my hard-earned money so they can put food on their table. You will not put food on your table because your studio is now fucking bankrupt. How about that? The left doesn't want to put food on their table either. No one wants to put food on these people's table. Because that's the thing, you know, like, if half the leftists that were defending this game would have bought it, it wouldn't have gotten the studio to be bankrupt. Which makes me assume that maybe most of them were probably bots. It's quite possible that most of the people defending and gaslighting and doing all of this activism for this game, I think they may have been bots. There's no other explanation. Like the level of passion, la pasión, defending this garbage doesn't justify the fact that they didn't buy the product. Thought that V was married? Yeah, so like what? Do you think like when you get married, you become a monk? You join the monastery? Doesn't work like that. You're still a man. At least in Romania, the definition of cheating is differently. Like if I was to go on Facebook and look at other women, my wife would get furious. Like, she would be livid. But if I play a video game with a sexy female character, she doesn't give a fuck. It's fictional. She doesn't care. And neither do I if she watches a movie and there's a famous actor in it. I don't give a fuck, you know? If she was to watch Justin Bieber, I would say, wow, that's creepy, but okay, you know, whatever, do what you want. There's a difference between fictional and reality. So yeah, it's basically, it doesn't matter if you're married, as long as it's not a real woman. Like, if I was to go out and date some of my exes from university, yeah, she would get upset. But if I watch an anime, she doesn't care. It is what it is, you know. And again, it's not even about porn. Like, we're not talking about pornography here. We're talking about AAA mainstream game. And you notice a trend, because if it was just one of them, I wouldn't care. But it's all of them, right? Male characters, just strong jawlines, muscular, well-built, Greek statues, Greek godlike figures. Female characters, all of them look transgender. All of them. They even call them body type B, so. You have a woman that understands the difference between fantasy and reality. Not many such cases, unfortunately. But like, most of the time in Romania is the same. Like, most of the families and the friends that I speak with, they have a different mentality. Because I heard in the West, it's very problematic if the man, you know, like, walks with the woman on the street and turns his head and looks towards some other woman. I even joke with my wife about it. It's like, wow, she's hot. And my wife looks and it's like, yeah, she's hot. And it's like, okay. But she doesn't get upset from this. Like, she believes that this is nonsense. But like the Western movies, it's like, oh my god, oh, he turned his head. It's like, of course he turned his head. It's like, he's not castrated. That's not cheating. Like, cheating would be to actually go and date the woman or try to get her phone number. Like, that she would get upset. But like, just, you know, you're walking past the street and a girl with big tits comes up and you're looking. Okay. The strategy isn't that different than the Hub admitted to doing and trying to normalize trans on the front page. Forcing things is wrong. Well, it's not that they can force it, right? Because their ideology is that if people see it everywhere, it becomes normalized, right? So it's the same like fat acceptance, basically. Like fat acceptance doesn't mean... Like, initially it started as, do not criticize fat people, basically. That's how it started. So if you see a fat person, do not try and criticize their lifestyle. It's none of your business. But then it moved on from that, and it's like, no, actually, fat is beautiful, right? So if you see a fat person, you now need to act as if it's a 10 out of 10 waifu. Now, obviously, people don't work that way, right? So what they try to do is like, well, if we can convince people that the fashion magazine, the fashion industry, and everyone else loves fat people, then they will as well, right? Because they will feel left out. So there was like this little period in time when every single fashion magazine and every single women magazine and a lot of commercials, they had like morbidly obese people in them. And it didn't work. Why? Because, well, people go outside. It's not like you don't live in commercial land. Like, you get to see the commercial on TV and you're like, okay, and then you go outside and you see women that are fit. Like, I'm pretty sure that in a world where literally every single woman was morbidly obese, then fatness would become beautiful. Like, think about it, right? Like, if you happen to have, like, every single person that you meet, every single woman that you meet is morbidly obese, no exception, and you've never seen a fit woman in your entire life, you don't know how they look like, then yeah, I guess in that situation, you may say that this lady, which is not morbidly obese, she's just obese, like she's incredibly smoking hot. But the problem is we don't live in that world, right? So like they can try and they can influence fiction as much as they want. They can put all of these people that they wanted to be beautiful on all the magazines and in all the commercials and in all the movies and in all the video games. But people do go outside. And people do see real women. Did you hear that the tourists of Chainsaw Man are being filtered left and right after reading the latest chapter? What happens in the latest chapter? Believe it or not, I haven't seen Chainsaw Man either, but like, what can possibly happen in the latest chapter? Cause like it's a very violent anime, right? Like there's blood and gore everywhere. So like, what exactly happens in the latest chapter that filters people out? And by the way, filtering people out is fucking amazing. Like you don't get Kill the Suicide Squad if it's a niche hobby. Like, when it's a niche hobby, you get Batman Arkham Asylum. When no one knows about it, no one cares about it, you get quality. You get people with passion making it for people with passion. When it's a hobby open to the public, you get Game of Thrones Season 9. He gets a hand job? Oh my goodness, no. Goodness gracious, gets a hand job. Oh, so it's like Breaking Bad? Don't you get a hand job scene in Breaking Bad, the first episode? Like Skyler gives one to Walt. Oh, in the manga, not the anime. Oh, not a hand job. Oh my goodness. To be honest, it's actually weird, because in anime you usually don't have anything adult. Like, unless it's a manga for adults, right? But like, in anime, the worst you get is like, maybe a panty shot, a cleavage shot, and that's treated in humor as well. Like it's treated as the girl falls down, the guy looks, and he gets slapped, right? Like it's this is the Japanese level of humor, I guess. But in American TV shows like the 100, oh, they're fucking nonstop. Whether it makes sense or not, every single scene, every single episode needs to have a fuck scene. Every single one. In anime, the worst you get is some hand holding. It was an accidental hand job? Okay. I mean, isn't like Chainsaw Man something that teenagers should watch? Like what should teenagers look for? Like old people fucking? Like what was it at Last of Us, the American show, right? So in Last of Us American show, you have like two elderly men. I think they're like 45 or so, and they have gay sex, and that's episode 3. Is that what teenagers should be looking? Because when I grew up with Buffy, and I grew up with like completely different shows. Even in Battlestar Galactica, you had Gaius clapping the cheeks of Starbuck. He broke her buck. But like, anime isn't like that. You don't get that many sex scenes in anime, right? Like most of it is the community, which is probably the American community that has a lot of sexual frustrations and repressions and stuff. Peaky Blinders had like 3 random sex scenes per episode rated on. Oh, you should see like the TV shows made for women, man. Like the Romantica for women. What's it called? Hold on. True Blood. True Blood. I wanted to impress a girl in university. Big mistake. She was very smart. Smarter than me, I would say. You know, it is what it is. Take that as you want. But I love it too, Boopster. But in order to impress her, I had to watch True Blood. Biggest misery of my life. Holy shit. But the amount of sex scenes and gratuitous sexuality in that was higher than any show marketed for teenagers that were men. Like there is no anime shonen or anything like that has more lewd scenes and more sexual content than True Blood. I think like most people just don't watch female romantica. And they don't know. Like, they don't know just how bad it can get. Because otherwise, they would criticize it a lot more. Which is great for women, by the way. I think, like, people should enjoy their shit in peace. Like, you shouldn't have your stuff open for the broader audience. True Blood is pretty fucking awesome. Oh my fucking god. Like, can you believe I know all the lore? I know all the characters. The problem with True Blood is that it starts interesting, but then they really run out of ideas really quick. And when they run out of ideas and they start throwing with leprechauns and fairies and the other bullshit, it's like, okay. No such thing as gratuitous sex scenes. Oh, no, it is. It is. Like, look, I gotta say, when I grew up and all the TV shows had them for no fucking reason, whether it made sense or not, they started shagging, that wasn't cool. But the reason I was bored by it is because it was just so many for no reason, right? Now it's the opposite. Now it's a level of prudishness that pisses me off because I don't agree with the arguments for why there is prudishness. That, like, we live in the age of OnlyFans, we live in the age of online e-girls and all the VTubers and all the shit that you want. Like, you got all the degeneracy, but for some reason, video games, they need to be kept pure and pristine. No, it's like fictional characters are treated with more prestige. It's almost like they're sacred. But like real people, they can be exploited. So if you have like real people, like real women, oh, that's fine. You know, like Twitch manages to get this girl, which is someone's daughter, and she prostitutes herself on camera, right? And some other son pays her bits, like gets mommy's wallet and buys bits. That no one criticizes that. In fact, if you criticize that, you're a misogynistic pig. But if you have a video game and you're like, well, can you please make the female characters more feminine? Like, at least, the jawline shouldn't look like it's a masculine jawline. The animation shouldn't look like it's a guy doing it. Like have the characters more feminine and sensual. Oh, you're a Khmer. Oh, you're a Khmer. Oh, of course, I see. And then it's the obsession with, like, real women. It's like, oh, why don't you go out and see real women? It's like, what does one have to do with another? Like, this is entertainment. Why are you so interested in my sex life? I find it creepy. Like, if a guy just wants to stay at home and play video games, leave him the fuck alone. Like, why does he have to go outside? Why does he have to meet a woman? To get a divorce? Leave him alone. No, it's like this obsession. Like, it's one thing if a friend of yours is concerned, or a family member, right? You get like these random twats on Twitter going around. It's like, oh, go touch grass. Why the fuck are you so obsessed with what I do in my time? Holy shit. I liked it up through the Russell Eddington stuff. By the time Hep V was a thing, I was checked out. Yeah, see, like they really ran out of ideas. It happens a lot with Dungeons and Dragons as well, with other TV shows. Like they start with a very interesting concept. They start with a very interesting idea, but as time moves on, they just ran out of content. And when they ran out of content, they don't know what else to do. The perfect example for this. The perfect counterexample for this would be Stargate. They never ran out of ideas with Stargate. Like, they kept on going and going and going, and every episode was better than the last. And it's a shame that we don't have Stargate, but at the same time, it's amazing that we don't. There was like a time period, there was a moment, a portal in which a new Stargate should have been made. But if they make a Stargate today, looking at what's happening with Star Wars and the Acolyte, Jesus fucking Christ, I do not know enough words in the English language to express how grateful I am. Jesus. Can you imagine? No, seriously, can you imagine if they made Stargate for the wider audience? Like, they would completely destroy it. Someone showed me the manga. That filtered through it. Okay. Dude, you find stuff that's fucking more lewd on Twitter. You find stuff that's more lewd at an LGBT parade. What the fuck? Was that enough to... Okay. And this is an anime about a guy with a chainsaw and there's blood and guts and it's rated M for mature, right? And that's enough to creep out the American. I genuinely wonder though, like, do the people that get creeped out by that, do they get creeped out to impress their friends? Is it a competition like, oh, let me show you how creeped out I am. I have been so creeped out. Never in my life have I been so creeped out. Oh, those nasty black and white images on my screen. Hold on, let me see what to say. How can we allow this? How is the writer able to write such nonsense? Anyway, I'm going to buy the next manga. It's like, right? Like, is that it? Like, is that what goes for fun nowadays? Because, like, people do not have any actual entertainment, so it's a game. It's like, let me show you how outraged I am. Like, look, I have been so outraged by the manga. No, fuck off, dude. You know nothing. I have been the most outraged by the manga. You guy, fuck off. I will tell you. I have never been so outraged by a manga in my entire life. No, fuck off. Only the most disgusting Khmers would like this manga. It is so atrocious. And then, you know what they do? They go around and they show the manga to people. It's like, look how disgusting it is. Are you not disgusted? Is it not vile? Look, it has disturbed me to the core, and now you need to see it. It's like, well, do you show it to your mother? No. Then why the fuck do you show it to me? Like, I don't understand these people. If you think it's disgusting, why are you showing it to me? Fuck did I do to you to deserve it? Like, when I find, okay, I find some roadkill, okay? I live next to a street. Cars drive really fast. Sometimes, I happen to come across a dead cat. You know what that is? It's disgusting. I didn't kill it. It's there, right? Do I take pictures of it to show it to you, you fuckface? No. So why are you doing the same to me with other shit? This fucking hell. What? Honestly, like, someone needs to keep these people in check. Give them a reality check or something. It's like, yeah, it's like, are you concerned? Are you not concerned? It's like, yeah, dude, the economy is in the shitter. I got a war next to my country. The last thing that I'm concerned is about your fictional shit. That is disturbing. Okay, fine. Then why are you looking at it if it's so disturbing? Are you a masochist? Like, when I find something disturbing, I look away. When I see the roadkill, I don't look at it. I don't poke it. I don't take selfies of it and upload it on Instagram. I move away. In fact, I don't even look at it. Makes me feel uncomfortable. Social media is video games for women. Acting out. They're not even women. I mean, some of them might be, some of them might identify as women. I shouldn't, yeah. But they're definitely not legacy women. If you try to show them reality, cops come knocking at their door. But it's like, maybe it's also due to the way I grew up. Like, I grew up with a lot of American TV shows, which I guess were kind of the opposite. Like, they didn't have almost any violence whatsoever. Like Xena Warrior Princess, right? So Xena Warrior Princess, I think it had some deaths in it, but like it didn't have any gore, any blood. No, actually it did have some blood, but it was like very, very little. Usually they would like push the sword through the guy, and then as it pulls the sword out, like it doesn't show the wound or anything, right? Like it was very non-violent. Like they had violence, but like they didn't display anything gratuitous, let's put it this way. However, like when it came to sex and sexuality, like it was just like an anime. You had a lot of fan service in Xena. Gabrielle, which was underage in Xena, I think like in the first season, she's 16. She gets sexualized a lot, even the clothing that she's wearing, right? And this is what I grew up, and that was real people, and it was mainstream television. It was like what I grew up with. Now is the opposite. Now you have like gore over the top. You got like an interview with someone that worked on The Walking Dead explaining how they made the zombie brains and how they managed to create the most accurate guts, and like everything is gory, right? So that's fine. Like, but that would traumatize my grandma, unironically. Like, my grandma would think that the people that are watching The Walking Dead are sick. She would think that they're psychopaths. Like, who watches that? Like, why do you want to watch so much violence? That would be her argument. It would be like, well, you must be psychotic. And I would say, well, grandma, that's fictional. Well, yeah, but it's depicting real people. Like, why do you enjoy seeing... Okay? So, like, that's the past. That's how I grew up. The mentality that I grew up. Now it's upside down. It's still the moral concerning is there. But now it's like, oh my god, there's a cleavage. Oh no, there's a cleavage. Oh, but meanwhile, violence over the top, perfectly fine. So weird, man. So weird. Yeah, Power Rangers is another one. Like, Power Rangers, very violent. Like, people were getting punched and stuff. But, like, no arms were broken. No bruises. Like, the words that, in order to disable them, I think, like, they had this, medallion on their chest, and if they got punched in the medallion, they would get disabled. So that was, like, the level of violence displayed. I think that the people who are watching The Walking Dead are sick for sure for different reasons. Oh my fucking god. I don't even know where to begin with The Walking Dead. So, the level of milking that they had for that show, and the level of inserting the current thing was just puke-inducing. I can say what was wrong with The Walking Dead. The wokeification of it is just part of it. But, alright, so they milked the story so much that they kind of ran out of ideas, but like at one, now I understand there's like 3 spin-offs, or 4 spin-offs from The Walking Dead. Like one takes place in France, one takes place in Mexico, another one takes place in New York, and there's like another one, and it's like, dude, make something else for the love of God, you know, make zombies in space, like be original. It's fine, you know, like, look, people do not like The Walking Dead necessarily due to the universe, right? They like it because of the fucking zombies and the plot and the drama. Make something like that and switch it around. Make it in a medieval setting. Make it in space. Make it, you know, like, you don't need to have the fucking title. Like, have some confidence in you, man. But I want to tell you, like, why The Walking Dead, the first one, was really great, right? Like, what literally got me into watching The Walking Dead. So, it starts off, and, you know, there's zombies and shit, and it's kind of cool. It's like, okay, the apocalypse, alright. And the first plot hook, they have this guy, which is incredibly racist, right? So, like, this guy is incredibly racist. He's causing problems in the camp, bossing people around, complete asshole. So you have the sheriff coming in, and the sheriff puts a stop to this, right? Like, the sheriff beats up this guy, and what he does is he chains him with handcuffs to a stove, and they gotta leave because the zombies are coming and they leave him behind, right? Like, that's some really good fucking drama right there. Some really good drama, you know? And it's like, you kind of understand why they did it, but at the same time, it's like, okay, he was a racist, but he shouldn't have gotten killed like that. I mean, that's fucking brutal. So, anyway, right, like, that's really great drama. First episode or second, I forgot which one. And the next episode, you have the guy coming to the camp, and this guy is really nice. Like, he's really good, incredibly competent, but it's the brother of the racist guy. And you find out, like, oh, shit. Oh, shit, right? And like, he's probably going to kill the sheriff now. But, like, no, he's surprisingly understanding, and he wants to go back, and he wants to find Merle, wants to see what's happening with that, right? So they all go back where they tied down Merle, and when they go there, they find out that Merle cut off his hand in order to escape. Like, that is such great drama. That is such amazing story building. But the problem is, you can't do that anymore because, well, Merle was racist. You can't have a racist character on screen. Like, that's not allowed. You need to have 2 lesbian characters. That one is a Muslim and the other one isn't, and they kiss and make up, and that's the end. I guess, like, that's the new drama. Where is the drama? I don't fucking know. But, like, now the interesting thing is, like, when The Walking Dead starts, it's not just the drama that they were good at creating. It's also the fact that you didn't know which character is safe. Like most of the characters that you consider them to be part of the main cast, they could get killed at any time from stupid reasons. Every single time something kicks out. Like, every single time there's a zombie. Any character could get bitten. Any character could die. That was amazing, right? Now, after one point, they stopped doing that. After one point, they realized, oh, this character is popular, so we can't kill him. Oh, this character is popular, we can't kill her. Like the old lady, I forgot her name. Like she was popular, and it's like, oh, we're with feminism now, so we can't kill her, because we're feminists. It's like, oh, God. So you have, like, this nonsense, and the general as well, like, they didn't go all the way to what happened in comics, which was really brutal. But you notice they toned down the brutality. In the comics, Michonne captures the governor, nails his left testicle to a plank, uses a spoon in order to gouge out his eye, and this is because the general raped her. And it's like, okay, well, this is actual drama. Like, you as the viewer, like the reason that I loved it is because it gets you through a roller coaster of emotions. Like, you definitely hate the general for what he did. Like, he is a disgusting piece of shit. But, like, when he gets his comeuppance, it's bizarre because you're like, Jesus, like, really? Like, she is cutting off his arm and she's using a spoon to pull out his eye. And, you know, like, you start to feel conflicted about it. It's like, why can't she just kill him? Like, why is she doing this, you know? Like, that was great writing. But you never get to see it on the TV show because, well, it's made for the modern audience. They can't be that brutal. They can't be... And the rape theme is like, well, you can't have it because the hashtag Me Too and all of that. With The Walking Dead, I got tired of ninja zombies that catches the character off guard. Oh, well, yeah, that was also... it's cool if it happens like once or twice, right? Like, it basically shows that nowhere is safe and blah, blah, blah. Like, it can happen. But like, when it happens so often, it becomes annoying. Like, you need a build-up, and you need tension, and then you need the confrontation to happen for the resolution to take place. You can't just like, oh, the character is walking around, got bitten by a zombie. Oh, now the character is dead. Like, come on. I think The Walking Dead should have ended with Rick putting Negan in jail. Everything that happens after that was shit. Oh, I think it became shit way before that. I never understand why the Rainbow Mafia thinks that the Muslims are on their side. It's easy to explain. The woke ideology is an imperialistic ideology. It needs to expand and conquer every aspect of human society. So the way they do it is like they realize that humanity has differences, right? Like most people from various groups, they do not necessarily like each other. Like the furries, they do not like the anime guys. You know, the furries and the bronies, they don't like each other. The LGBT community on Twitter, they do not like the hentai community, right? Like there's this obvious differences that do not work. So what they do is like they have a common enemy, right? And it's the cisgender white man. It's like the patriarchal cisgender white man is going to take your kumis away. So now everyone is like, okay, well, we need to put aside our differences and fight against the common enemy. And this is how the woke manage to maintain balance. They don't care about, oh, well, Muslims don't like, and no, they don't. It's basically like, well, we need to push wokeness here as well. We need to get more support from here as well. Now, furries and bronies, believe it or not, are actually not the same thing. There is some overlap, but no, the communities are different. At least when I used to be a furry, I don't know anymore now. But furries are mostly overwhelmingly left-leaning. Like, if you look at the political inclination of most furries, where they were flat-out Antifa, where bronies were right-wing. The reason for bronies being right-wing is that there were a lot of right-wing themes in the My Little Pony universe. And by right-wing themes, I mean, they had stuff like, equality is bad, people who are communists are evil, you know, that type of shit. So what ended up happening is that there were two fandoms that had similarities in their aficionado for fictional animals, but at the same time, they hated each other. So, I know it's difficult to believe, but bronies didn't like furries, and furries didn't like bronies. Now, again, this is when I was involved in the fandom. Now, it's been probably more than 25 years since that happened. However, at the time, that was the situation. V pulls out his furry card sometimes. Look, I got it. It's like my lived experiences. Until Equestria girls popped in and made some banger statues. Yeah. Like, I remember, like, furries, they were so upset because at one point they made the bronies into actual women. I never watched My Little Pony. I do know their songs though. Like their songs are very similar to Disney in quality and Has Been Hotel. So like their songs are really catchy and cool. But I never watched the actual thing. But I do know that they made the Brodies into actual women. And that's when the furries started getting really livid. It's because, like, oh no, you're giving the Coomers what they want. Oh no, and they're underage. Even though like the show itself was asexual, the fandom and the community around it kind of was. So yeah, it was like this really interesting internet wars at the time. Yeah, no, it's funny because like My Little Pony was designed for little girls, right? Like it was a show for little girls that went extremely popular with a different target audience, which was middle-aged men. Like middle-aged men liked My Little Pony far more than little girls. In fact, you would go to a My Little Pony convention and you get to see them online. Like you can Google My Little Pony and you can see the conventions online. Almost no girls are there, or women. It's almost predominantly men. It's like 90% of the people that consumed My Little Pony and bought merchandise and stuff like that, overwhelmingly men. Yeah, it is weird. It happens every now and then, like you make something and you have a targeted demographic in mind, and then when you put it on the market, you realize that you're appealing to a completely different target demographic, often for completely different reasons as well. Yeah, that's autistic middle-aged men, yes. So furries are sexual degenerates, but also hated when you give in to the Coomers. No, you don't understand. They're left-leaning people, right? The Bronies were right-wing people. The purpose of a left-wing person is to make right-wingers feel uncomfortable. Like, that is their goal in life. That is their motivation. That is their drive, right? Like, they do not want to necessarily improve their own conditions. They want to make other people miserable. So, if right-wingers enjoy something else, then they will attack that, right? And they will find whatever criticism is required in order to make right-wingers feel uncomfortable. Are you a Brony V? What's your favorite princess? Again, I never watched My Little Pony. I never watched it. I do know the songs though. The songs are really great, and you can find them on YouTube. Nick Richietta is a right-wing Christian, and he is a cokehead swinger. Allegedly, like it's not proven. But yeah, no, like, usually I notice this in 37 years of my life. The more judgmental a person is, the more likely they are to have flaws. Like some of the most virtuous people that I know mind their own fucking business. Now, that doesn't mean that they do not apply their virtue and their morality in their own household, right? So, like, there is a difference between moralizing someone that has a connection with you. So, like, for instance, you moralize your wife, right? Like, you say to your wife that the house is messy and someone has to clean it up, and you promised you'll take the trash today and you didn't. Like, that's one thing, right? Like, you're in a relationship with her, so it makes sense that you can talk to her about moral issues. Your son, right? Connection with him, that's different. An employee. You can moralize an employee. You can tell an employee you were late for work, you didn't deliver on time. Like, that's fine. But when you moralize a stranger, it's literally like going to a stranger and asking them for money and having a chimping out when the stranger doesn't want to give you. Like, there's no purpose in moralizing someone that you have no relationship with whatsoever. Because the person will tell you to fuck off, and you also look like a dickhead. But what I notice is that the people that moralize strangers oftentimes are some of the most degenerate people in their life. Like, it only takes a matter of time, and then something pops up. Eventually something pops up that they did, which is far worse than the shit that they're moralizing to other people. And then you have the other individuals that literally just leave people the fuck alone, right? You rarely see them moralizing. Like, if anything, they just don't partake in it, but they don't have strong feelings about this and that. No degeneracy comes out from them. Or if it does, it's just like something that's, within the realms of acceptable. But every single fucking time. People who feel insecure about themselves don't feel comfortable judging others because they don't want to receive criticism back. I don't know why it is. But I did notice that as a pattern. Obviously, there's exceptions, but like most of the time. Homelander isn't a hero? Oh shit. I don't think we have time to talk about Homelander anymore. There's only 10 minutes left. I'll have to change the title. I'll make a video on my secondary channel about it. Yeah, no, the thing with Homelander... Like, first of all, there's no hero in that universe. But the writers really, really, really want you to like Starlight. Okay? The writers of The Boys, they really desperately want you to like Starlight. But the problem with Starlight is that she's not likable. I mean, she's not dislikable either. She's just meh. She's meh. And the main problem with that is that she also is an asshole. Like, there is a scene that the writers wrote in. I don't know why. I mean, again, the writers chose to put this in for no fucking reason whatsoever. But they stop a car, and they need a car, and Starlight just kills the driver. And that's an innocent person, right? So literally, like, Starlight is a murderer. Like, she deserves prison for what she did. But you want the audience to like her homicidal tendencies. If you want to make a cool character... I mean, fuck, you know, even Maeve. Even Maeve is more likable than Starlight. Yeah, no, Maeve is actually a great character. I like Maeve. Yeah. She's not the best. She's not waifu level, but she's good. Let me see. The character that I really liked, the 100. The 100 had, what was her name? Clark. Clark was likable. I don't know why, though. I mean, she had massive tits. But, I like her personality for some reason. I think it's because she wasn't like a know-it-all. She wasn't trying to moralize. She was just trying to survive, I think. And it's also the fact... Yeah. So okay, the reason I like Clark, I'm going to show her. Like, for those of you who don't know, The 100 is this Canadian TV show. Probably the last one where... No, actually, The Orville is the last one where the actors are presentable. But this is Clark, and the reason that I liked her, more than those two reasons, is that, she cared about others a lot. Like, she would put herself in danger if it meant saving the group. Like, she wasn't selfish, I think is the most motivating fact. She was nurturing. Yeah, I think this is the best way to say it. She was nurturing. She was constantly, like, trying to protect others, save others, and improve others. And this is what makes a really great female character, in my opinion. And you don't get to see that anymore. Like, definitely, it's not what, what's her name? Starlight is. Starlight is nagging. Clark didn't nag. Like, there were a lot of times that she disagreed with people, and, you know, she would either try to manipulate them to get her way, but it wasn't like manipulating them. But, like, here's the thing. Like, let's say she knew that a group of savages are coming to destroy the camp. And she goes to the leader of the camp and tells him, it's like, look, we need to go right now. And he would say no. She wouldn't try to nag him. She would try to manipulate him in order to think that it's his idea to leave the camp. And that was like what made a really great character, because she's smart, she's charismatic, and she knows how, she cares about others, right? Because if she didn't care about others, she could have just left. It's like, oh, you know, you want to stay? That's fine. And she leaves. But like, that's not what she did. And yeah, one of the best female characters in fiction that I know. Fiction that's not, you know, anime or anything like that, not video games. Because if you go to video games, you get Talizora, you get other characters that are really much better. Like Katara in Avatar, I haven't seen it. But yeah, like she basically just doesn't nag. That's She's not bossy. I think that's the most important thing. Her spirit is perky, has a huge heart. Yeah. Yeah, she goes through a lot of physical pain to save others. Yeah, I think this is the definition of a hero. Like, if you want to make a hero character, that's what you need to do. There's a Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous, where, like, one of the most benevolent characters that you can find is, fuck, I forgot, Ember. Ember, she's literally female Jesus. Like, she is literally female Jesus. She sees kindness in everyone. Like, she is such an amazing character, really well made. I think, like, that is the best heroine you can find in fiction. Like, this is the type of character that... And the way, like, she behaves is that by seeing the best in others, and by putting herself at risk in order to save others, it motivates everyone around her. Like, everyone around her feels motivated because it's like, well, no, we need to protect her. Like, look how kind she is. You know, it's like, in this world of darkness and demons, there's still light. And they look at her, it's like, well, yeah, like, this is the light that still burns, so we have to defend it. So yeah. Like, she's really great. And I think that is how you can make a convincing, good female character. Yeah, like, I think, like, more respectable than the bossy character is the nurturing female character, and you just don't get that anymore. You just don't. It doesn't exist. Ember is a Mary Sue. She probably is, but it doesn't matter because her personality isn't from like a Mary Sue. Upsets people when it's done improperly. You can have a Mary Sue that's still good, but like Ember, I don't think she's a Mary Sue. If she was a Mary Sue, everyone would be talking about Ember, right? Like, every single character you'd meet would mention Ember. She would be the most powerful. But she wasn't like that. Like, she had strength, but like it's never implied that she's like more powerful than the villains. No, it's just that she was kind. And she could talk no jutsu to anyone. Like, that was her power. Like, she believed in the goodness in you. And she believed so hard that it made you feel, you know what, maybe there is some good in me. Yeah, Ember, hold on, I'll show you who Ember is. It's from an RPG. She's got like this very tragic backstory as well. They tried to burn her at the stake because they thought she is a witch, which, by the way, she actually is. And she forgives everyone. There's like one paladin that saves her, so she's disfigured, like she's half burned. Her body is singed. But she's like incredibly good. She's incredibly pure. And she even manages to talk demons into stopping their sinful ways. And she's got like this magical crow that's always with her. And she believes that the crow is grandma. It's a really well-made character. Some people don't like her. I would say that she's like female Goku. Kind of like that. Right? So like, imagine Goku in Dragon Ball where he's like clueless and still innocent. And still not understanding the world, but sees the good in everyone. That's kind of like Ember. She isn't a Mary Sue, considering you can kill her. I didn't know you can do that. Jesus. Yeah, I don't think she's a Mary Sue. Like a Mary Sue, let me think if I can... I'm trying to think of an RPG where you actually do get a Mary Sue. It's kind of hard to make that character in an RPG, right? Because like a Mary Sue is the center of attention, and she's also like when she appears on the scene, like everyone is saved. She does everything. Anyway. I'll have to change the title, and I'll see you guys on my secondary channel where I'll talk about Homelander. Anyway, thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys later. Take care.